So, do you guys remember last week or a week and a half ago, I was showing you guys this bad quality of coffee, which we sort out in order for the coffee that we export and that we use for a roastery, according to the parameters of SCA. Remember, this is bad coffee that's not used, but as I told you last time, we do use this locally, like not us, but Hondurans and Central Americans, I'm sure, consume this, okay? And let me show you why this is not such a great idea. Okay, so I have regular coffee, which I'm going to grind in front of you so that you know that I'm not trying to do any trick here or anything, right? And I have this local little bag of coffee that I chose to kind of leave away the brand just because I don't want to bash anyone's business or anything. I'm just showing you guys the reality of what it is consumed in this country or in this region. So what are we going to do? Okay, so you see this glasses of water here. So I'm going to fill them up with tap water, regular room temperature tap water. Now, coffee is not soluble at room temperature water, or not instantaneously, okay? That's why we have cold brews. We leave the coffee to rest for 8, 12, 24 hours before we can have coffee, okay? So we're gonna pour our coffee inside of the room temperature water and see what happens. So now let's pour in the coffee in the coffee grinder. Is that it? Now again, coffee at room temperature is not soluble, 100% soluble in water. And now, well, let's open this. And more or less same amount of coffee, okay? And now for the fun part. I have both of my coffees here. Just by looking at them, you can see that one of them is really, really dark. The other one is your regular mid-dark, medium dark roast, right? Guess why it's roasted so dark? Again, it's really bad quality, right? So, remember, coffee is not soluble completely at room temperature water, right? And this is room temperature, okay? You saw that. So you're gonna basically see that right away, the effect. Let's go. Now, you'll probably notice a couple of precipitants, right? So what's precipitation? It's coffee that's heavier than water and it precipitates, right? It literally goes down. Now, you can already see this happening here. This is not coffee. Okay, the interesting part of this is that since this is really, really bad quality of coffee, they need to give it another thing in order for it not to taste as bad, right? Which does taste even worse, actually. What they usually do is that they add sugar to this, right? So burnt sugar. They like during the roast, they will add the sugar into it, and it will burn the sugar with them, so that it kind of takes away those earthy, moldy, medicinal, phenol type of flavors to this bad quality of coffee. But it is also known that some people add other things other than coffee. They usually add corn, or they add rice, or I've even heard of avocado seeds adding to it. But this powder is a grayish kind of powder, right? Doesn't look like coffee. It will not brew like coffee. So what do? We taint it with iodine, because iodine gives that coffee-like color, like that caramel amber color, right? So at least down here, people like doctors and people will say coffee is bad for you. Coffee gives you heartburn. Coffee it colors your teeth. It's bad for your health, for your stomach. Blah blah blah. Yeah, but that type of coffee, not coffee. Coffee is well known to have really good beneficial properties to your health, right? And just you can see there, right? It's really bad. And I'm gonna shake it so you guys can see how bad it is. Okay, let's shake it. Now, you see that coffee there, right? Once we shake it, it's even worse. Let me just show you in a second why. Basically turned black. Plus, if you look, it's very oily, right? It's super oily and kind of nasty in a way. Now, what happens if I swirl this one? Of course, it'll precipitate. Yeah, right. It's coffee, so of course it'll mix. I'm adding energy. I'm mixing it, right? That's the law of physics. But look at that nice foam or crema on top of it, right? Does it look like anything like this? This looks nice. This doesn't look nice. And this is what a lot of people drink here. The sad part of it is that Hondurans or Central Americans or producing countries, they used to only stay with this type of coffee. So for the past 20, 30, 40, 50 years, 80-90% of our populations have been drinking this. Okay, so you guys should feel lucky that you don't have this type of coffee in importing countries like Germany, USA, Australia. But luckily, it ain't all bad news. This third, fourth wave of coffee, specialty coffee, has hit Latin America and has hit Honduras. And a lot of coffee shops and a lot of coffee brands, we started back in 1998 to produce good kind of coffee, like real coffee. And we used to call this café de palo because it's café from a tree, but because it's literally just coffee, right? And it's not only us, it's not only my farm, but it's a lot of people in origin countries that are having more and more specialty coffee shops, which are educating our people to drink better quality of coffee. Because we also deserve having a nice geisha or a Maragogipe or an SL28, right? We also want to try those coffees ourselves, not only produce them and send them away. You see that over there? It ain't looking nice. But again, this specialty wave has reached us as well, not only in the producing manner, but also in the consuming manner. And therefore, we farmers are also more obliged to brew and to have better coffee, not just for us, but not just for you guys, but for us as well, for our people to drink good quality of coffee. So again, feel lucky that you only drink this type of coffee. And I'm not talking about like pesticides or stuff. That's a whole different story, and I'm not gonna try to get into that. You can watch a video I did not so long ago about that, but I'm talking about just regular coffee, like drinking nice regular coffee, right?